We thought this Lions team, after losing Ben Johnson, who was the belle of the ball, the super genius on the offense, and Aaron Glenn, the absolute dog that was running the Detroit Lions defense, as they had this resurgence back to relevancy and being a good football team for the first time maybe in forever. They looked like ass at the beginning of this entire thing. Jared Goff looked like the guy at Rams whenever he was getting benched, maybe even third stringer at the end of it, lost all his confidence. Is this guy going to suck again? And then what we've seen here the last 2 games out of this Lions team is, oh, no. They are still the brand new Lions. Huge win last night. And in the biggest moments, they do what the brand new Lions do, which is go for it on 4th down. We're getting some stats about them going for it on the 4th down. 32% of the time they go for it. Okay, that's obviously the highest in the NFL. 91 conversions, that's the most in the NFL. The Lions were 3 for 3 and scored 21 points last night after converting on 4th downs. Now, those stats are from Hembo, but if you saw the game, there was late in the game, there was a 4th down that they went for it that you think to yourself, okay, now this is first quarter, 4th and 3. You know, Monroe St. Brown does the how you doing, let me go ahead and check each quad dance. And he obviously understands you're going to go for it then. I think MCDC was trying to set a point, and also there was going to be a high-scoring game. Everybody thought we can go for it. That's normal. Less than 2 minutes left, though, okay? Whenever 156, you're up 1 score at the 50 damn near, okay? 4th and 2, 156. This is one of those ones that Dan Campbell calls that nobody else really does. People that love going for it on 4th down, even in this situation, would be like, Lamar Jackson, 49 going in, we're up touchdown right now.
No thanks.
This feels like we should maybe just go ahead and try to get a stop. But on that same note, Lamar Jackson, are we going to be able to get a stop? Minute 46 left anyways. And MCDC says, let's go for it. Not only do they run it with Sonic and Knuckles, guys are incredible. Okay, there you got a great run game. They throw this thing, and it's not an easy throw. This is Jared Goff dropping it in a bucket with under 2 minutes to Amon-Ra St. Brown, their star wide receiver who, if you listen to Troy talk about him last night, he does everything right, everything. He's not a diva at all. He works hard, he blocks, he does everything you ask him. And it's like the Detroit Lions win because this is how the Detroit Lions play football. It is quite a no-risk-it, no-biscuit operation up there, and it feels like Lions fans woke up this morning a lot more confident than they had for the rest of the NFL season. Is that accurate, Foxy?
Spot on, Pat. I'll tell you what. In the MCDC era, that was the best regular season win we have had by far and away. We were able to run the ball. All right, Monty and Gibbs, both 2 touchdowns each, over 200 yards rushing. And then on defense, we were somehow able to stop Lamar. 7 sacks. Before this game, when I said we had a game between Jared Goff and Lamar Jackson, and one of them is going to get sacked 7 times and the other is going to get sacked 0 times, I would have bet $10 billion that it was Jared Goff getting sacked 7 times. Instead, this defense stepped up. Kelvin Shepard stepped up. It was amazing. And last but not least, we stopped Derrick Henry. Punch out of there.
Geez.
Huge game changer right there. I love everything about it. It was amazing, and the Lions are all the way back.
I love to hear that passion and excitement, Foxy. Good for you, good for Lions fans, because obviously this has been a good time with MCDC and him coming to town. And Michigan man, the Michigan face, Aiden Hutchinson having a huge punch out to, win that thing. And Derrick Henry now we're starting to talk about.
What's going on?
Whoa. Hey, once a fumbler, always a fumbler, but he was never a fumbler. Now he's a fumbler. Are we worried? 3 for 3 here now. Derrick Henry, very inopportune timing of it all. And obviously Derrick Henry's a stud. I mean, Derrick Henry is a massive piece of their offense, but you lose the ball late like this and continue to do it, you set your defense up for absolute failure and you lose games. The Baltimore Ravens are now 1-2.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're staring down a potential 1-3, or is it going to be the Chiefs? Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty Schmidt, the NFC North Green Bay Packers were the Kings for a long time. I see you got the coach's hat on your head right now with the G there, representing the Packers. This Lions team doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. I think the Packers had to recognize the Lions as an actual opponent in the division. Okay, that was the first stage.
Yeah, without a doubt.
From being the same old Lions to the brand new Lions.
Yeah, going to beat these guys by 4 touchdowns every single time. That's not the case.
Oh, Thanksgiving's cute, guys. You get to watch the Detroit Lions. You know what happens every other time? They're not a part of the conversation here in the NFC North. So the first stage was recognizing that they are a part of the NFC North. I think we've witnessed that happen with you over its entirety. Then whenever they got really good, there was still a lot of denial out of you. There was, nope, this is still the Lions, and they forever will be. You view the Bears the same exact way. It feels like that is how Packers fans feel, especially Packers ownership like you. Then last year, whenever they're number 1 seed in the NFC, there was a recognition, I think, by Packers fans, like, okay, this team is a team. Then Ben Johnson leaves, Aaron Glenn leaves, a lot of holes. First week, they look like ass. I think there's been some confliction on whether or not everybody legitimizes the Lions. There's no questions asked now after, right? They are the brand new Lions and will be going forward for as long as MCDC is there?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I don't think they punched the Ravens in the mouth last night. Like, that's the Lions who we've come to know. Like, and as a Packers fan, like, you expect to see that every single time, the Lions play the Packers. Like, hey, they're going to out physical them. They're going to go forward a bunch. And that was MCDC's whole point when everyone was making a big deal when both of the coordinators left. He's like, hey, theoretically, the way we've built things here, if I take a step back, like, this thing should be able to kind of hum on its own. Like, they have unbelievable players on both sides of the ball. They're super physical. And then we probably overreacted way too much, on both sides of the spectrum. Like, hey, the Packers looked really good week 1 against the Lions. And, wow, the Lions are a completely different team without Ben Johnson. And the defense doesn't look the same. Like, it obviously is going to take a little bit of time. And now we see last night. Like, I don't think that's crazy for Foxy to say that. I mean, we've been watching the Lions a lot. Like, this probably was the most convincing and impressive win that they've had in the Dan Campbell era, because this silences everything. Like, these guys are legitimate contenders to go to the Super Bowl.
I love the fact that Marlon Humphrey was running a 4-2 at this stage of his career. Love everything about it. Absolutely catching up there, as Sonic and Knuckles were just that last night, weren't they?
That's right. A lot of people week 1 were calling them ass and cheeks. I didn't like it one bit.
Yeah.
But now we're Sonic and Knuckles.
I didn't like that one bit either. I thought that was a little premature. D-Butt, what is your takeaway from last night? First of all, defense coordinator Kelvin Shepard.
Man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. What a showing.
Former teammate of ours.
Absolutely.
What is your takeaway from last night's Monday Night Football game? It was over. The over definitely did hit.
For sure, but exactly what Ty said. It's one thing to go on the road, and I was with BA, and just that environment coming out. BA asked me as soon as the intro started, national anthem, he's like, have you ever played a big-time night game or big-time game at this stadium? So the energy is different at that stadium. So to go on the road early in the season against a team that beat your ass last year, great quarterback, great whatever, and just punch them in the mouth. Like, to get out physical like that, 2 95-yard plus TD drives. Like, you rarely ever see that. You rarely see
was
one.
Was it 16 plays?
I think
one of them
18.
One of them was 18 or 19. I
Yeah,
thought it was
so, and that's when you really feel like the Sonic and Knuckles. It's one thing to be on the side of a team throwing for 500 yards on you, but when the team can just run the ball down your throat on your home field as a defense, that just takes all the pride out of you as a defense. So for the Detroit Lions, huge win. And Dan Campbell, look, he is the fourth down, go for it type of guy, and that the team knows what you're getting, that the offense knows what you're getting. To be a first-year coordinator with this team and be put in that moment on that stage, and then to get it and execute it. He had the flag. They would have got it anyway with the penalty, but to make that throw on a dot, like under pressure. They were calling him Gooflowski too. I know, ass and cheeks, Gooflowski.
People were loud about this line.
That one was valid.
Yeah, this is a big-time moment for this team, for this quarterback, this coach, these coordinators. I shout out Shep Dog, this defense, 7 sacks against Lamar Jackson. It was some, obviously, he put himself in those bad situations, but that's why he is who he is, because he can make those special plays and then keep Derrick Henry, 50 yards and a huge fourth. It wasn't just a fumble. Like, that was a great punch out by Aiden, man. So just a big time win. Early in the season for him, obviously a lot of ball left, but they really went and punched a what we see as a physical team. I don't know, the numbers are saying something else about this Baltimore Ravens team, especially the defense, but that's the aesthetic we always think with the Baltimore Ravens, but it just got punched in the mouth by a more physical team with the Detroit Lions.
Last 2 seasons, I think through the first 3 quarters, they're like number 3 or 4 in the league in giving up points per game. And then in the fourth quarter, they're at like 9.3 points per game they're giving up, and it's 31st in the league or something like that.
Not good.
Not good, especially for a team that we think of being tough with what you're saying. Now, on the flip side of that, Coach, whenever you took over down in Tampa, I think they had a 5-11 season going into that season. You obviously become Super Bowl champion down there. And there's a lot of moving pieces to that. But with what MCDC has been able to do with this Detroit Lions thing, what is the most impressive part as like another coach? Like, what do you guys see him doing at Detroit that maybe nobody ever thought could happen there? And what have you seen how have you seen him operate that most coaches like kind of look and, I don't want to say give a shout out to, but like respect at the way he's doing?
Yeah, I think it started with his first press conference when they go bite their kneecaps off. And he set the tone that this is how the Detroit Lions are going to play. And that's how he lives, and the team has embraced it. And I never thought I'd see anybody going to Baltimore on a big night and beat them up. And they beat them up. And that's Dan Campbell. I mean, his personality personifies everything about this whole organization now, the team. The guys rally around him. Jared Goff's playing fantastic. That was a very impressive win.
Aiden Hutch has been training. Hey, he has been training. He's been
Oh,
dancing
yeah.
too. He's been doing a lot of dance.
Oh, yeah.
I seen him dancing.
He was dancing
all over the place.
Hutch?
Hutch was dancing.
Basically naked.
I didn't see that.
What video did you watch?
He was. Okay. And that's why he can punch the ball out.
No, yeah, shave the arms, the whole thing. I get what you're saying, but no, like I think he has been working possibly, and that's a good thing to get good at.
Yeah.
Darius Leonard was here when he was playing great football. That guy was all over the place. I think he talked about taking actual boxing classes and like working on his punch, and that became a real weapon for him. He was punching one out every game, basically.
The peanut punch.
Yeah, the peanut punch.
Pagano,
Then Chuck Pagano made a video on,
Pagano
listen,
punch.
when you deliver this punch, we want guys to come from here. You know, you can't be doing this. And all of a sudden, Peanut got a little bit offended. Is this guy saying he fucking created?
Yeah.
I got to check on Chuck.
Chuck Pagano's in a bad spot right now. A couple tough work.
Figure it out, Chuck.
Yeah, but you saw his guy. We talked about it last night. I sent it in the group text. One of his safeties sacrificed his body, saw an outside shoulder,
You're right.
so that his brother could make a tackle. That is Chuck Pagano losing his mind right there. Love everything about a sacrifice you hear, proper shoulder, proper everything you're doing this.
That's a full sellout right there.